Welcome back to Start Your Day. Just say no to books. Lawmakers across the country fueling heated debates about banning children's and young adult books in schools. The majority of these literary works deal with race and the LGBTQ plus issues, while other complaints claim violence, sexuality, graphic imagery, and profanity. Our Mark Lamont Hill owns a black bookstore in Philadelphia called Uncle Bobby's Coffee and Books. You should check it out. And he says these types of books are low-hanging fruit.
Every generation, there is a moral panic that emerges where some group of people says, our society is failing, we're moving in the wrong direction, the sky is falling, we got to do something about it. And they immediately look to school, they look at the curriculum, they look to popular culture. You know, there are some very familiar suspects. And books become an easy target.
It is so obvious what's happening there. We've invited Randi Weingarten, friend of the show, president of the American Federation of Teachers, back to Start Your Day. She represents 1.7 million members, one of the most powerful unions in the country. Good to see you again, Randi. Wish we could talk about something else besides masks and what's going on in schools and being safety and banning books. But, you know, here's the thing. Obviously, Randi, this is nothing new. They've been banning books for years. But in your opinion, there's something that's different about it. What is it?
So this is, unfortunately, this right now is all about politics and all about fear.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it over the course of the last year. Everyone's frustrated with COVID. Everyone wants it over. No one wants to wear a mask. But you've had this huge battle over vaccinate or not, over other public health protocols that are about safety. And then the same people were like, oh, no. We don't need to be safe with masks. We don't need to have vaccines. Then say, but we really need to be safe about books. Like the books are hurting our children. And so you're like, really? Like Mouse.
Yeah.
The graphic book about the Holocaust, which has one word in there, damn. Like all of a sudden we're not going to read in an age appropriate way about one of the worst, not the only worst, but one of the worst genocides that have happened in modern history. And then banning a book about Ruby Bridges because it will make kids uncomfortable. Well, let's kind of remember how uncomfortable Ruby Bridges was. And I suspect that no one's going to be more uncomfortable than Ruby Bridges was in actually trying to integrate schools. So, and we can go on and on because you can see it in terms of To Kill a Mockingbird. I was a high school social studies teacher. I still am. I'm on leave from the high school I taught at. I used To Kill a Mockingbird as a way of teaching kids how unfair the criminal justice system had been and what Jim Crow actually meant. So these are the kinds of things where, yes, it's happened in past generations, but we have had a lot of moving forward, and this is about just, I have to say it, it's whitewashing history. It's trying to erase history. It's trying to tell kids that none of these struggles have happened. And that hurts kids. It hurts our country, and it walks away from factual struggles that we owe an obligation to kids to learn and to struggle about.
And that's the point I want to make, because it should be about the kids. But you know, you're absolutely right, Mouse. They don't want you to learn about the Holocaust. They don't want you to learn about the LGBTQ community, and we know how important that is, especially kids who feel like they're alone. Obviously, CRT has been a huge issue when it comes to schools. All of this right now is being political, and it's the parents, it's the adults who are fighting over this. But once again, it's hurting the children. Tell us specifically how this is hurting the children, Randi.
Well, think about it. So first off, let me also say it gets a lot of ink, and we see, these examples in Florida and in Texas where these governors are trying to vie with Trump to run for president. But overwhelmingly, we just took a poll of parents, deep dive poll of parents across the country. Overwhelmingly, parents want their kids to learn honest history. Parents want, in an age
Mm-hmm.
appropriate way, kids to understand the world and the world in which they live in. So you have a very vocal minority that's creating a very loud noise that is that wants or is exploiting the chaos. This is how it hurts kids. We are a country that's getting more and more diverse. We are a country that should be
Mm-hmm.
embracive of new and embracive of our future. When you don't let kids actually, in a teaching way, in an age appropriate way, really deal with struggle, really deal with conflict, and deal with it in a way that they can actually move through it, we're not teaching them how to deal with the world. Everybody has to deal with conflict.
Mm-hmm.
So we are actually not teaching them. And then, secondly, every kid has to see who he, she, or they are. And we need to
Mm-hmm.
validate and help create confidence in who she or they are. And so when we take that away and we don't see some kids, or we say, oh, this is bad, we're actually hurting a generation of kids. And this is a moment that we need to get kids mojo back, create their confidence. They've just been home alone or isolated for so long. We need to validate them, we need to lift them up, not try to create these kind of tribes or tribal fears. And we will do a better job in unifying the country if people are not scared of each other. And when you take away
Yeah.
books, or when you say, are you teaching about the Holocaust, or teaching about Ruby Bridges, or teaching about slavery is bad, the struggle, teaching about the struggle is important for so many reasons, for helping kids discern fact from fiction, for dealing with conflict, for becoming critical thinkers, for understanding what you need to do to be prepared for life. But really, it's important that we see each other, and that's what these books do.
Randy, I gotta go. I could talk to you all day about this. One point I want to make about this is, like, you're right. It should be taught by qualified educators who care about these children. A lot of times when kids can't have something, they still are curious about wanting to know
Exactly.
more about a certain
Exactly.
topic, and then they'll go and find it from somewhere else, and it's taught by someone else that might not be qualified or isn't qualified, especially on the internet. So they're going to
Yeah,
learn,
a
and that
video
could be
game.
a danger in itself. Or video game. So if they ban them from schools, they may still be curious, and they may still find out. But Randy, we got to go. We really appreciate you always hanging out with us here on Start Your Day and providing your knowledge. Randy Weingarten, President of the American Federation of Teachers. Thank you so much, as always, for joining us this morning.